Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to be going over another popular stock that people hold, which is going to be Tesla. I mean, if you've watched any of my other analyses, you probably understand where it's going to be going. But I'll walk through everything and every step of my analysis of the company. So, what is Tesla? Let's be honest, Tesla is really much just integrated with Elon Musk, and as a company uh, that buys or sells it's Elon Musk as a company, essentially, is what you're investing in. You do have the segment of electric vehicles and you have some other stuff, but as a whole, you're really just thinking about, okay, what is Elon Musk going to be able to do? The stock rises and falls with Elon. So headwinds and tailwinds, right? If we're treating this as just a standard company, I which is difficult to do, seeing the impact that Elon has, but I'll do my best. Headwinds, Elon, tailwinds, Elon. In addition, headwinds, you do also have a lot of competition coming up, especially in the electric vehicle space. You have Ford with their electric vehicles. You have Rivian. You have Lucid. You also have Chinese companies that aren't competing with Tesla domestically, but see them competing internationally. Companies like BYD, which are it has been taking market share from Tesla, right? All of these are not really good signs for Tesla. Tesla is also saying, hey, we're going to get, as a tailwind, we're going to develop robotaxis, right? Robotaxis, things that Waymo is doing. You also have this Optimus robots, AI that are being developed. So those are also tailwinds that are possible for Tesla. But it is hard to see. It's difficult to see where it is because these items always seem to be 2 years away from Elon, right? It's always like, hey, we're going to get this in 2 years. And that 2 years just perpetually happens. It's almost like how we are always just 20 years away from fusion energy. Anyway, let's take a look at the profit and revenue history. Well, on the surface, the revenue growth does look really good, right? We have a 33% 10-year median growth with a 24% 5-year CAGR. The issue really isn't that doesn't have fast growth. It's that it doesn't look like Tesla's growth period is going to be able to be sustained. It looks like there is that petering out of this growth, right? We see that in the last year, their growth has rolled over. It's really slowed down, especially even in revenue, right? It's not just that earnings have come down; it's that revenues have actually stayed steady, if not decreased a little bit, which is a warning sign, right? It's not something you want to see if you're an investor in Tesla. Except we do see the margin and the PE to make our final analyses. We do see that the margin started 2020 negative, whatever. We've seen plenty of companies that do that. It became positive, but now it's the margins are decreasing, especially since we do see Tesla having these sales, right, to get rid of inventory, which is not for a good sign. Currently, the PE sits at around 6%. Sorry, not PE. The margin stands at about 6%. It was expanding, but the margins are not really that expand that much. I do see an argument for him to expand in the future, so we'll get to that once we actually take a look at my or my assumptions for pricing. 5-year median is 144, 5-year average PE is 100, 103, which is really on the high end. If you're priced at that point, you're really expecting something like a 50% year-on-year growth, but that's not something that Tesla's been able to sustain or even show that they're able to do. So let's take a look, right? What assumptions am I going to go with? I'm going to say that revenue picks up. I don't see Tesla, as much as people hate on Tesla, and I am one of the people who really don't like Tesla as a company, but they do have good cars, right? I don't see that as they can get over the hump that is essentially people hating on them for political reasons and being able to get back into actually developing cars, developing batteries, and making good products, right? An 8% revenue growth per year is in line with essentially all the other automakers of the United States, and especially if there's a pickup in robotaxi, it should be very easily reached revenue growth rate. A 10% profit margin is also should be pretty easily reached, especially if you are able to get a higher margin due to like selling FSD, selling subscriptions, selling robotaxi. If Optimus is as high a profit margin as Elon Musk says it will, or as many as he says they'll be able to sell, it shouldn't be an issue to hit that 10% profit margin. However, I am going to say that ending PE is going to be significantly lower due to the fact that the growth is not at that rapid pace that Elon is promising. I know people are going to argue against me and say, hey, you're investing in the future. It doesn't matter what the PE is. You have to buy into the future. But on the other hand, it does matter, right? You're not paying $5 for $2 in the future. That doesn't that doesn't make any mathematical sense. Eventually, math will prevail. It might take a long time for it to prevail, but it will prevail because you can only fight gravity for so long. Intrinsic price, given all these conditions, is at $36 or $198 and $93 if you do assume a P of 100, which I don't think it's going to happen, but I put it in there just to see if you sustain the same PE, what is that price going to look like? All right, so the free cash flow analysis, let's take a look here, right? The 10-year median, it's very bumpy, right? It's definitely not just straight line up as you would like to see. A lot of cash flow investments, capex, and you do see a 10-year of median of -8, but a CAGR of 38, 34. That means that when Tesla grows free cash flow, it grows super fast. But on average, they are going to be spending the cash flow to maintain what they have. What is their price to free cash flow median and average? 133 versus and 122 respectively. Both really high for a company like Tesla at its current growth rate. So given that, what is pro- an, an appropriate price, right? I'm going to assume a 12% growth rate. Once again, going back to that 8% margin revenue growth plus that margin expansion, that 12% revenue growth should be in line with what they're able to do for the next 5 years, assuming that the two previous caveats are fulfilled. That, however, does actually leave us at a 33 price of free cash flow due to the lowering some free cash flow growth, right? It's not that 100, which is, once again, that you need require very high pace of growth to sustain that. And which means that that intrinsic price, right, would get us around $50. Accounting for that they do have $4 worth per share worth of debt. Now, I also put in what the free price of free cash flow would be at a PE price of free cash flow of 125. The price would actually be at around 200. So once again, that is in line with the revenue side that I'm somewhat expecting. So those are in line. These two numbers, I'll skip the dividend analysis because Tesla doesn't pay a dividend, and even if it did, no one cares. What is it really saying, right? A $39 for in revenue and a free cash flow discounted at about $50, right? Overall, really, the max I'd be willing to pay for Tesla stock at this point is $40. I don't see, at least to me, any reasonable way for them to justify the lofty price to earnings or price of free cash flow or just that lofty price in general. Of course, it's possible to pull a rabbit out of its hat and just make the earnings just expand and grow, but I don't see that happening. It is hard to justify something like this to someone who's looking for a fundamentally sound company. That being said, my final rating on this company is going to be a sell. Let me know if I have made any errors in my process, or if you just want to yell at me. I wouldn't care either way. But thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another company, and even like and subscribe if you enjoyed. If not, feel free to dislike. And yeah, let me know what other companies you guys would like me to see, like me to analyze. Thank you so much, and have a great day.